Today, AI is changing how fast organizations can move, but speed alone doesn't create value.
What matters is how clearly teams can define the problem, align around outcomes, and make the right decisions before they accelerate.
I'm Clay Richardson, founder and CEO of Digital Fast Forward.
And I'm Steph Lewis, Senior Director of Pega Community and Developer Engagement.
Each episode, we sit down with leaders and practitioners to explore what it really takes to design for value.
And find out how organizations are turning AI-driven speed into meaningful, measurable outcomes.
Welcome to Design to Accelerate.
Conversations on creating value in the age of AI.
Let's go. Welcome to the next episode of Accelerating Value in the Age of AI. I'm Clay Richardson, Chief Accelerator with Digital Fast Forward, and I'm joined by my fabulous co-host, Steph Lewis.
Yep, back again as Senior Director of Community and Developer Engagement. And I am so excited to have our Chief Product Officer, Kerim Akgonul, with me. But Kerim, I also knew you back when we started this whole journey together. So I'm really excited to kind of take us back and talk through the journey and what's different.
When was that, Steph?
15 years. I'm almost at my bubblehead.
Okay, great. 15 years.
Yes, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and you've been around a little bit
halfway
longer.
there.
Yeah.
Well, welcome first. It's just good to have you on. And just, like Steph, we kind of go back, and it's really weird to think of you as a chief product officer.
I get that a lot.
Right? Because I think about the conversations we've had going back, but also just, I know you've been at Pega for an extended period, and one of the things we want to talk about is just this journey around, not just blueprint, but how the role and this process around design has evolved. And, if we go back to DCO, like, how has it evolved from those days of direct capture of objectives from your perspective?
Well, interestingly, when I think of our engagements, again, back in the day, we used to talk a lot about like directly capturing objectives.
Yeah.
And we used to talk about the business analyst experience.
Right.
And we used to talk about having a business analyst portal and having basically sort of the low-code, no-code capabilities for the business analyst and the business analyst portal and the app accelerator type capabilities.
Are you blaming me for all of the stuff that's happened as an analyst? I hear all these names and I'm like...
It's just all that jargon. Well, that's what
It's jargon.
Jargon, yeah.
But we had to basically sort of explain who it is that we are targeting. And we had to we struggled to sort of explain, well, what is the skill set? Are they developers or are they basically... people who understand the business scenarios and the business use cases. So we talked about the business analyst, which meant it's like a business guy, but can do stuff, can actually build things and can tinker with stuff. And we said, well, if this person has capabilities to use Excel spreadsheets and pop into macros a little bit and use Excel at the next level, then that's probably a good candidate for the person to be a business analyst. We wanted somebody to not be deep in programming, but be sort of able to capture logic and sort of thoughts and process definitions and construct things.
Right.
Without writing code. And, it's always sort of been difficult to find those right personas. But when you find those people, that person was just awesome. And they could just get so much stuff done so fast and so effective in their jobs. And, the DCO was trying to find those kinds of people. I think a lot of the low-code tools wanted those kinds of people. I think the business, the business analyst role looked for these types of people. And I think the solution designer sort of is now able to actually truly build things because they are now, backed with not just sort of all the low-code tooling, but also backed with the power of AI to sort of turbocharge their abilities.
What's interesting is I think about this big shift, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, around journey-centric design, right? And I think people struggle with this, journey-centric design, or let's say Pega Express, not to get too deep in the weeds, but like, does Pega Express, like DCO Pega Express, it's this melange of things, right?
It's like
and I guess
it's like a station on the journey.
Right. So does Pega Express go away?
Well,
Like,
a lot of
you
the
see what I'm
constructs
saying?
of Pega Express stay,
Yeah.
but it sort of grows up to the to the next level. And we talk about essentially the sort of the blueprint delivered concept, which is how do you we talk a lot about blueprint, and blueprint is a design tool, and the idea of the blueprint is to sort of design the thing you're going to construct.
Right.
Right. I talk about the same thing all the
Yes.
time. If you're going to buy a plot of land to build your dream house, you don't have the construction people coming in and pour the concrete on day one. You sit down and you talk to an architect, and you design the blueprint of your dream home. Right. You basically decide where the living room is and where the front door is and where the kitchen is and if there's a garage and where's the driveway and you design it, you agree on it, you have the blueprint fully captures your vision, and there's no space between what you have in mind and what's in the blueprint. And then when the construction people come in, you're not going to talk to them. Right? The blueprint, just go and do the blueprint, and the blueprint delivered. So going back to the express methodology and whatnot, blueprint delivered is the act of taking that blueprint and actually constructing it, both with the facilities and the product, but also with the understanding essentially what those things mean. Right? When a construction person looks at a blueprint and looks at basically the drawings of how the beams actually work together, and there's all the measurements, it's there already. They don't have to go back to the architect and ask a question. It's already articulated in a common language. And what we're trying to do with blueprints, and then the blueprint delivered, is to establish that well-defined path to a successful outcome.
The other thing I will say with that example is you're not designing the solution without understanding what's possible or not. Right? So I think that's the other difference when we think about how other, like maybe in general, how business analysts are perceived is like, oh, well, you don't need to understand the technology or what's possible or how it comes together. To achieve the dream that you're talking about is like, well, I would kind of disagree that the solution designer is kind of responsible for the end-to-end shepherding it to the creation of the value, but like, also, if we do that, they need to understand that, look, what I'm handing to you as the person that's going to build the beams, I'm not handing you something that you can't build.
Right.
Yeah, of course. And then the blueprint has to blueprint generates only things based on standard construction materials, right?
Yeah.
There is basically, blueprints will never suggest a nail size that doesn't exist, right? Even when you look at a home, it could be a unique home, but it's usually for the most part made up of standard elements, right? With the basic of the piping or the electrical or the wall or any aspect, the roofing, the foundation, but it's designed to generate a unique outcome that is specific to
unique
the
outcome
vision.
based on standard components.
Unique outcome based on standard components. So when you think, if you do go back to the dream home and an architect sort of analogy, where do you think the solution designer sits?
I think the solution designer sits in the sweet spot of understanding what the dream home means to you.
Who am I?
Well, you might be the customer that I'm building it for.
So it's my dream home.
It's your dream home, but Clay has a different dream home.
Yeah,
so me as a solution designer.
So it's like an architect, kind of.
Well, it's the sweet spot of understanding.
Yeah, well, that's what the architect does, right?
Well, I think that's different today.
No, I meant the home architect.
No,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, bring it back to
the analogy. I love this analogy because I do, and maybe this is a debate we want to have right now. Is like, I have this thinking around solution designer being someone that really defines what does the house need to look like, but has to make sure that what was designed actually gets built.
And is sound.
Right, and is sound.
Right,
right.
the sound,
like
solid.
that's
It's
And
gonna
but
work.
again,
Yeah.
your
Yes.
definition of dream home is gonna be different than yours.
Yours.
So you have to
right,
understand.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
What
right,
I
yeah,
value
yeah.
is going to be different,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And I think I want to go back to something you said that it's such a nuance, but I think it's something worth kind of digging into. Is I do see a lot of clients that they will design solutions. Forget about Blueprint or Pega for a second, but they design solutions where they actually don't know what the platform can do. Right? And so what happens is we design this blueprint, have this design for a house that is going to have Bluetooth garage doors. It's going to have, this lookout pool where in reality there's not even a beach.
You can't build it into the ground.
Right. You can't build it in. And so I think this is important as Pega uses the term guardrails. But I never thought about that as Blueprint does give you these type of guardrails so that you don't design something that can't be implemented.
Right.
Right.
So Blueprint
interesting.
will basically will only let you design things that you can implement, right? And Blueprint will sort of showcase to you the things that exist, so that you're sort of informed that these options are available to you to choose from. And then what we need to do is we need to basically continue to make Blueprint more broadly capable, because there's a bunch of things that you can do with a Pega application that is not visible in Blueprint.
Right.
So that so that I can offer to you, hey, there are these options. You can do notifications, or you can do AI-based predictive decisions. You can do updates for basically different users and dashboards and all this stuff. There's a bunch of things that you can do in a Pega application that is not offered up as a capability to Blueprint solution designers yet. And the product organization's job is to just sort of close that gap without making Blueprint complicated.
Right.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
requiring you to be a developer and a programmer. The
Yes.
solution design, we don't want solution designers to have to be programmers, developers. We want them to be designers of solutions.
It's like it's
Yes.
knowing what's
Yep.
possible and knowing yes, you can do this, but should you do this? And it's understanding but not necessarily being able to do that's the builders that
Right.
would actually do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the builders can figure out how to actually sort of connect the things. Like a designer doesn't need to know how to get electricity into an outlet.
Nope.
Right? They just need to know that that's possible, that it's understood, and there are people who will just come and do it for you when you decide that there's going to be an outlet right here.
Yep.
Right? They need to know what's available, and the construction people, that's also going to be AI assisted, but the construction people sort of can put that together for you. Right? The designer needs to know that heated tiles are an option.
Yes.
Right.
Right? They
Right.
need to know basically that dimmers are an option. Right? There's all these things. There are options, and then people, sort of the people who have the dream of the most wonderful application can choose and select and sort of make the choices, and then you give to the construction people
To actually build.
and they don't have to ask a question. They're just gonna go do it.
I mean,
It's a
that's
blueprint.
this distinction you're making between the designers and the builders, right? Because I've definitely seen teams come into a tool like Blueprint and say, I'm going to build the app with this expectation that what they build, they're going to press a button and it's going to be in production. And so how do you help people navigate, what is the appropriate way to use AI in design, right? Is it, you follow me?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we're still in the very early phases of the journey, and I think we just have lots of different gaps across not just in Pega products, in all the different products that's in the industry, and there's a tremendous amount of confusion,
Right.
and talk about silver bullets out there. I just basically I just listened to a podcast on a drive the other day, and they were talking about the vision of Doge was to basically go into the large departments of federal departments and sort of eliminate waste and make everything just run by AI agents.
Right.
All right.
That worked
That
out
worked
really,
out
really well.
Also, like, where's my AI agent to replace everything with my AI agent button? Like,
It's right here. Right
What the
here.
hell does that mean? I mean, and then it's like, well, we just put an agent around it. Well, if you just put it on the agent, I mean, there's like everybody's throwing these like agent words out there, right? Everything is gonna be an agent. Well, we'll just put an agent on it. Well, agent will decide if this is a fraudulent transaction. Well, how will agent decide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
what would
magic.
it look at?
It's
Like, you know,
just magic.
how would it? And are you okay with what the agent
Yeah.
Agent comes back.
decides, right? Or basically, the agent will decide if basically
Yep.
this person gets approved for a home loan. Oh, is that problematic or not? Right? Like, what is it going to decide on?
Hey, I
Is he
programmed
al-
an agent on my large language model for home loan approval. Why can't I just say, hey, this is what I have, agent, go do the work?
Well, because you know, I mean, there's the reasons why I can't do the work. Well, if it doesn't have to be compliant, and if you don't have to, you know, at some point, defend the decisions, and if it doesn't have to be basically compliant with the state and federal regulations, right? Yeah, just give the loans only to people that you like.
Do you hang on?
Yeah,
Let me
and
ask
then all of
you-
a sudden,
Yeah,
that what happens.
So you're chief product officer. Do
You still
like,
can't believe it.
I still don't.
I know you do.
But I think what you're talking about, a lot of clients are trying to figure out, but a lot of clients are trying to figure this out more around how do I just, going to what you're saying, how do I just get an agent and the agent will do everything? And like we've been trying to get clients to understand, like there's orchestration, there's governance, you got to think through this stuff. And I still don't think clients are there. Like I do, my prediction is,
I think nobody's
right?
there. So I believe there's, first of all, and we also use the word AI, so broadly, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Blueprints itself, just going to take things a step back. Blueprints is about using AI to make recommendations to you as somebody who's envisioning this dream application.
Right. I see it.
Give recommendations to you as, what do you think of this? How do you think? Here's an idea. And you're still responsible for making the ultimate decision as to which options you're going to
You still
choose.
have to
Well,
have
and-
agency.
Right.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
you
Yes,
keep using the
right.
word you. That's the human. That's
Right,
the human.
right,
That's
Yes,
the
the
human.
human, the person
Yeah.
who is basically going to stand behind
Yes.
saying that this is the right structure for this application that we're going to roll out, right?
Yeah.
So that's the AI sort of helping and empowering that human.
Yes.
I'm just not talking like humans.
We got to be explicit.
We do, yeah.
Gives recommendations and suggestions, maybe teaches the human things, or sort of like highlights things that the human is not thinking of. But ultimately, the human makes a decision.
But
as to what
I
we're
don't
gonna do.
think that's how people in the field use it. Right?
Oh, I don't. Well,
Well, I'm just saying, if I can maybe share
Yeah.
for a second, is I actually think, from what I've seen, people use Blueprint as a decision maker for them sometimes, meaning to punt the commitment. Because what you're saying
Yeah.
is you, as a
Yeah.
human,
Yeah.
have to make the commitment.
Yes.
And
yeah,
we've
so-
seen
yeah,
teams.
and it's
you
funny
see what I'm
because we're
saying?
trying to basically introduce a terminology into this whole experience called the high-fidelity blueprint.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to say with the high-fidelity blueprint is, if you just click next, that is
That ain't-
not
that's
a
a
high
great-
fidelity,
But-
right?
but-
You don't know what the hell you just
But
did.
that's like chatting to ChatGPT, and it gives you like, you should go do this, and you're
Yeah.
like, that's the smartest thing
I've
I've
ever
ever
heard.
seen. I'm gonna go do it, and then you realize
Yeah.
like, oh, like that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're saying is
Yeah,
high fidelity. is-
all these ChatGPTs,
Iterate.
all these basically agentic experiences. If you experience any of them, which I know you have,
Yeah.
if you say no, give me more detail, it'll be like, great, I'll give you more detail, right? So it
No
doesn't-
problem.
it
Thanks
doesn't-
for asking.
Right? But wait a second. Didn't you miss this? Like, you know what? That's right. Like,
You're
it's
very-
constantly like it's
Yes.
right. So you can't, if you just click on next,
Yeah.
you're gonna miss out on all that stuff. We want
Right.
our basically, sort of working model is when you're designing stuff, you want to basically experiment and experience and think through everything that is suggested to you. Actually, I'm going to put in some controls in there that
Right.
basically says, hey, you never looked here. You never
Yeah.
validated the business rules are the right business rules, or you never looked at these screens.
Yeah.
And you're about to go and build something that you haven't sort of double checked
Right.
and human verified, and that will be essentially capability that comes
Right.
about. So there's AI for the sort of the design experience. Then there's the AI for the construction, right? So you get this blueprint, and I import into my environment. It sort of set me up a bunch of templates and starter, basic scaffolding for all the elements that's in the blueprint. I still need to finish up, and there'll be AI that helps you
Yes.
basically build out these constructions. That's the second part. And then the third part is when you roll out the application, then the people or systems that are using the application want to use it agentically and want to basically use the power of AI in the runtime experience. And then there's 1,000 other things like, monitoring and assessing and looking at the data, all that.
It's kind of full cycle.
So there's all that stuff in there. So when we talk about AI is going to do it, well, AI is going to participate in design, AI is going to participate in the construction, and AI is going to participate in the execution.
Yes.
Now, with so many toolings that I see out there, you use the AI for the construction so fast, so quickly that you immediately end up with tech debt.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is
Within-
the conversation
Within seconds,
Yes.
you have all this tech debt. We're like, wait, like
I don't
I
need
didn't
all of
want
this.
that. Like, you have to start undoing it, but you don't know how
But
to
that's
undo
the
it.
generative nature of it, right?
Right,
It's
and-
just like, I'm going to put all of this code here.
And then it looked like you just wrote 1,000 lines of code. Well, shit, you have to be like a really good
Developer
programmer.
productivity just shot up.
If you're counting developer productivity by
Line of
number of
code.
lines of code, you're gonna get a bonus. But then you have to go in and get rid of some of the stuff.
Yeah.
But then you have to be like a really good programmer to get rid of the stuff. But wait, I thought I didn't have to be a programmer. I thought the AI was gonna write the program for me. But a person who doesn't know programming really well cannot decipher all this code that is generated.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going to do the thing next.
Yep.
Which is earlier, 10 seconds ago, we agreed that's not a good idea. So all of a sudden, you're in this dilemma where you need highly skilled engineers to validate and sort of eliminate the code that the AI is generating.
Yep.
Well, what happened to not needing it? What happened to AI writing the code?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just forced me to do more than I was doing.
So now you need engineers who are not only good engineers, who can actually work with AI-generated code,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is even a higher level of skills. And I think that's why we're hearing all these notes about 95% of the AI projects don't end up going into production, all this stuff,
Right.
because I think we're just too early in the journey to basically have that silver bullet. Oh, we're just going to make AI agents do all of that.
Yep.
Right.
Wait,
Right.
who, what? Where?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
I
don't
mean,
think
to
we'll get
even
there.
build on that, as we shift back to the solution designer, same thing with the code, same thing with your business processes. If you build it in a silo, tech debt. Because you're
Right.
like, oh, wait, this thing was built over here, but I'm building in the silo, so you're not doing the reuse component. You're not understanding the full context. So you're creating all of these things that are going to have to merge together if you don't completely understand how these all come together. So
Yeah.
more tech debt in a different way of business tech
Right,
debt. Of
but if you design it right, look, again, let's go back to the building a home analogy, right?
Yep.
Let's say you just took whatever the AI gave you for home designs, gave it to the construction people, they're like, all right, fine, we'll just build it. And then you come in, and the kitchen's on the 3rd floor,
That sounds good.
right?
Real good.
The garage is on the 2nd
Yeah.
floor. The playroom
That's a
is
good analogy.
or they rebuild
they put
a
the
sink.
they put the sink in the next to the fireplace, and the pool is in the driveway. Like, whoa!
It sounds like a fun house.
yeah. Maybe at my college house.
right.
Right. And how cost efficient is it to
Yes.
ask the construction people to come back
To
and
run
put the
to-
things in the right place?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what is it gonna cost to demolish the kitchen on the 3rd floor,
Right.
right? and move the pool from the driveway to the backyard?
Why not? Sounds fun.
I mean, more than
Yeah.
more than constructing it, right?
Yes.
So what does that tell us? Getting the design right before you do the construction basically pays off really, really well. in the actual executing of the construction.
To actually get it cost effective,
To
but
cost
also
effective,
time
time-wise,
to
right?
value.
Stress,
Yeah.
right? Job secure. I mean, you know, if you do that, you're going to lose your job, right? So getting the design right at the beginning, is just critical. It's dramatically more valuable than generating thousands of code out of a prompt, thousands of lines of code out of a, 2 sentences of prompt.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. Prompt, coding. Let me ask you a question. I just want to play a little game for a minute, right? Because I think a lot of listeners are trying to understand, what do they need to stop doing? What do they need to start doing? And what do they need to continue, right? And so a little bit of a game, like, what would you say start, stop, continue advice for listeners?
Well, that's a hard question, especially to be able to talk generically to everyone. But I think start learning more and more, and and don't trust all the hype. And just basically validate and understand things for yourself, and form your own opinions as to what works and what's viable, what really makes sense, especially if we're talking about people who are building solutions for sophisticated companies.
Enterprise.
Right, enterprise solutions, right. If you're basically, building a solution for a small business or a small shop, they just had to get up the website up with basically the hours, that's one thing, that's fine. But if you're talking about, regulated industries or complicated industries, you're dealing with people's, money or their insurance or their health or basically, citizen-related work.
Right.
You really need to basically form your own opinions and not believe the hype and learn. Obviously from the Pega stuff, we want people to learn Blueprint every day, because Blueprint is evolving on an ongoing basis, and it's just moving so fast that people need to sort of stay up with all the different options that are presented. Right. Maybe with the stop believing the hype, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like my kids have heard that, we're not gonna need, and they study computer science, we're not gonna need programmers anymore. Well, I think that's complete BS.
Who's gonna actually write the stuff?
Yeah, validate it, basically understand it. I mean, I don't know anyone in any industry, in any management level, who would say no if I told them, hey, I have 10 great engineers. They're looking for a job. Would you hire them? Everybody will jump on it, right? I mean, we're all looking. I mean, you bring me 10 engineers, I'm hiring them that day. There's a tremendous amount of, I think. So stop believing the BS and the hype that's basically out there. I mean, look at all this. Look at the amount of news that comes out these days.
Yeah.
And how much of this agent conversation being basically amplified by people who have absolutely no idea what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Like zero. And then I think the continue on is really it's about learning. I mean, like, we've been through these revolutions before.
Yeah.
Right. We've been through there was a time we had there was a client-server revolution. There was the cloud revolution. There was the mobile revolution.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's like all
Y2K? No.
Yeah, there was the service-oriented architecture revolution. There was the microservices revolution. I mean,
you remember all this stuff?
There's like so many of these revolutions and none of this stuff made things less complicated.
Yeah.
It just got more complicated. Like what cloud made things less complicated?
Yeah,
it made things so much more complicated, right? Mobility made so much more complicated.
It hid a lot of the complexity.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It tried to shield it, but behind the scenes.
And then if you're an organization, you never only have one application that's running on one cloud. you have stuff all over the place. Now you got to figure out how to integrate them, how to secure them, how to do the messaging, how to basically validate them, format them. There's so much stuff. And now there's all this AI stuff, and it's basically things are. I don't think it's a silver bullet. I don't think the computer programming jobs are gonna technology jobs are gonna go away.
Right.
I don't think we're going to basically let AI run agents that just go and fix themselves. And I think we need to just continue to learn and evolve.
Are you a skeptic?
No,
Are you a skeptic?
I think
No.
they're going to be powerful. I mean, look, we use AI agents to help us with our code, to check our code, to validate it, create testing for us. Yeah, we use it to basically give us
Checks and balances.
productivity, make us more productive. But we're not basically
letting him go.
letting him go and like, hey, plan the next release for tomorrow.
I'm just going to say, Kerim has a doctrine of AI that is pragmatic AI.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair. Yeah,
Right,
just like anything else.
Yep.
I mean, it is spectacular. It is so exciting. It is moving fast.
Yep.
Things will look different in 2 years.
And, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. 2027 will look different, and we will have learned more. But we have to basically continue learning. And I don't believe all this silver bullet stuff for a split second.
And I think the change that's so scary for people right now, because we've talked about a lot of change in the last however many years, the pace, I think, is what's different right now and what's able to do. So I think your point of learn, stay up to date, don't get rolled over by the hype.
Yeah.
Learn for yourself, because no one knows exactly what they're talking about. Like AI in and of itself, that term, it's like there's so much there. So don't be scared of it. Lean into it.
Yeah.
Like your job's not going away.
Right.
It is for you if you don't learn
Right.
Well,
and stay up there.
I'm guessing 99.5% of people who will listen and watch this know more than 99.5% of people that are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
this? What is this
Yes,
technology
that's
is
true.
about?
That's true.
And
Yeah.
have the opinion to stay on that top 1% of people who actually understand at the core what is the right way to use it.
Yes.
And what is the right way to leverage it, and what are good ways to basically optimize the work through these AI tools.
Yeah.
And all it requires is, I think the people that are listening to this sort of have all the right skills to stay up to date.
Yep.
And to take a much more of a level-headed perspective on what's basically going to really play a real role in how people do their work.
One question I have for you is, I remember on LinkedIn, a VC that I know posted a job announcement, like a job opening announcement, for what he called a 10x developer. And I was intrigued by that.
Yeah,
and I actually reached out to him,
cool
right?
phrase, yeah.
Yeah, I've reached out, like, what are you really looking for?
Did you get it?
Yeah. And
Not
what
with the
he...
job.
I did not apply for it. I was just so intrigued by it. And a lot of what he was looking for is this concept of a developer that can do 10x the amount of a traditional developer, because they've really embraced
the
AI as a full
Absolutely.
capability. And so have you seen this in
Why
client
doesn't
environment?
he just get an AI agent to do it? Why does he need a person?
The orchestration, I would,
Well,
right?
I mean, because you still need those
They're
people
human.
to make sense
Yeah.
of the stuff. So so I don't know about the 10x part,
Right.
but we do expect people to embrace the new tooling, to not basically get stuck in, this is how we've always done it. Like, to get out of that mindset. But like, hey, look, there's some new tools that's going to make you more effective, more engaged, more excited. Yeah, of course, we expect people to leverage it. But even if the productivity is increasing by 10x, the need is growing faster than that.
Yeah,
Right?
yes, yeah.
So,
I see what you're saying.
so
The opportunities out
yeah,
there.
opportunities out
Right.
there are
if you come
are
with that
immense.
10x skills.
Yeah.
So it's a cool time to be in this world.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we done?
I think now I'm like the person that's always asking a last weird question, but
Let's do it.
maybe this last weird question, is, so we get in a time machine, we're in 2030, and we're looking around at how AI and design has changed significantly, or how AI has changed how we think about design. What is the biggest thing that you see that would blow us away? Right? So we're in 2030 and we're looking around. What is that thing where it's like, oh, wow, I would have never seen that?
Have you seen that comedian that talks about how if he was a time traveler and went back to like 1920, he wouldn't be able to convince people that he comes from the future?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, who's the next president? I don't know.
Oh,
He'll be like telling people, hey, you're going to have phones in your pockets. They'll be like, yeah, how does it work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
Something to do with satellites.
Okay.
What's a satellite? Oh, man, I should have never brought that up.
This thing, it's like the moon. It's the moon.
He's brilliant. Oh, I won't be able to convince people.
So what are you saying? You
We're
have
gonna
no
phone in your
idea.
pocket.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, I think we know that things are gonna look less disconnected. Like right now, when you think about, again, I'm just trying to sort of map your suggestion to what the software applications perspective. Right now, if you go to any company, any employee that works there has to be fluent in anywhere between 6 to 60 different applications, and they need to know that. Well, I need to go here and I need to go there, and there's that application, and that application has an edit button here, and all that crap. I think they're going to be less siloed, and the users are going to be able to experience a much more of a. Right now, users adjust to the way the applications are designed and built.
Yes.
I think we'll see a world where the applications will adjust to how the users are working.
More personalization.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I think that would be a big productivity improvement.
1,000%.
Think about like onboarding someone into the organization.
Amazing vision.
Right?
I see.
Yeah.
And I can see that basically going there. But at the same time,
how will it work?
well, not only that, like, who knows? There's going to be so much coming in the next couple of years that I think the only way to know is to just stay on top of it.
It's been great.
Yeah,
Connecting
always a pleasure.
with you, really good. And
Yep. All right, on to the next episode. Always good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, awesome.
All
All right.
right.
See you next
Thank
episode.
you.
All right.
all right, bye. Thanks for listening to Design to Accelerate.
This is a space for thoughtful conversations about how people, not just technology, create value.
When we let human judgment lead and AI accelerate, better outcomes always follow.
Follow and subscribe to keep engaging in this meaningful conversation.